Hey everybody, so I'm trying out the new foundation by Lancome, the Teint Idole Ultra 24-Hour Foundation Stick, which I have right here. If you want to see how I got this look, stay tuned. Hey everybody, so I'm coming to you with a first impressions of the new Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Foundation Stick. It is sunscreen SPF 21, and the color I have is 460 Suede W. So I have tried Lancome products in the past. If you check my channel, you'll see that I tried the Nude Miracle, and at the time they only had color 500, and I think it was a N or a W, I don't recall, and also 450 N, and neither one of those colors worked for me. The 500 was a little too deep, and the 450 was a little too light and neutral. I have yellow undertones, so that is why 460 Suede W was recommended to me. So that is what I have. I just got it today. Haven't tested it out or anything, but I'm told that those are the colors that will work for me, or this is the color that would work for me. So I already have moisturizer on, and I'm using my Embryolisse that you know I like to use as a primer as well as a moisturizer. I have dry skin, so I'm told that this foundation stick works for all skin types. I've been using RCMA for a little over a year, the Shinto series 5 and 6. 6 mostly for every day, and 5 when I'm going out for a little bit more brightness to my skin. And I also have tried Bobbi Brown's foundation stick, and that is, God, what color? Walnut, warm walnut. So I tried several colors in the Bobbi Brown. I tried golden almond, which I thought was my color. That was one of the newer colors. And I also tried warm almond, and then I finally settled on warm walnut. And it's actually a very good foundation. It has a lot of transfer though, which I didn't like, so I did end up sending that back. But warm walnut is my color in Bobbi Brown if you're interested in that information. Plus I'll have the other foundation matches that work for me listed in the bottom of this video in the description bar. So I'm going to go ahead and try this Lancome foundation. I saw Lisa Eldridge talking about it. As you might know, she's a creative director for Lancome. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. So that is the color. As you can see up against my skin tone. Actually, it looks kind of neutral to me, but it's supposed to be warm, so yellow undertones. So I'm just going to swipe this on my face. Couple of streaks. It's supposed to be full coverage, and I did see Lisa using this on her YouTube channel, and she did get very decent coverage with just a few swipes across the face. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this in. Put the cap back on that. I'm going to go ahead and blend this in with my Sephora brush. This is the Face Blender 134 brush that I've been using a lot, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out. The color seems a little off initially, but I'm presuming that it looks better on camera, and maybe it's gonna oxidize a little and blend in better. I like this brush because you can kind of get up in the corners where you need to. So this foundation is 0.31 ounces, which is the same as the Bobbi Brown foundation stick. As far as the weight, most foundations, liquid foundations, are at 1 ounce. I'm just going to blend this out at my forehead. Don't have any crazy harsh lines. It's supposed to also act as a concealer, so I'm going to attempt to use it as a concealer as well, as I do have some dark circles under my eyes in case you hadn't noticed that. So that is one layer. Make sure you get up under your chin. You do not want to walk around looking like you have on somebody else's head. That is not attractive. So that's how it looks with one. Actually, let me do a little bit better around. I have darkness around my mouth that I need to work on. So I'm just going to speed this up while I add more foundation around my mouth. I don't actually remember what I was talking about, but I'm not quite sure if it was even related to the foundation at this point, so just speeding that up a little bit. It blends in very nicely, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as a concealer as well. I'm just going to take my beauty blender, take the cap back off, and I'm just going to tap the top of it put a little bit on my beauty blender and see how that works. I normally use NARS concealer, the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and Amande, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And this beauty blender was clean when I initially started to use it, but just want to make sure you know how I'm not using that much product to try to cover this darkness under my eyes. So that's just one layer, and I'm going to see how that wears once it settles in a little bit with the color. So that is one layer of the foundation stick, the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Makeup Stick, and it does have sunscreen. It's SPF 21, all day color wear and comfort, portable perfection, soft matte finish. I do agree with that. It does not have a very dry matte finish, which I don't like because I have dry skin. I don't like anything that's going to feel tight on my skin. I actually can't feel that this is on right now, so that's a very positive thing. Like my skin tone looks fairly even. So this is 0.31 ounces. 0.31 ounces, 9 grams, which is the same as the Bobbi Brown foundation stick. So yeah, I like this. I can't feel that it's on. I want to see if the color changes at all. I didn't actually say what time it was. Let's see. It is 11:17 a.m. So I probably started putting this on like 10 minutes ago. So 11:07 a.m. I'm going to read you some of the information from the Sephora website, which is where I did purchase it from. It's currently exclusive only to VIB and VIB Rouge on the Sephora website. $42 for 0.31 grams. I'm sorry, 0.31 ounces and 9 grams. The Teint Idole Ultra Liquid, that comes in 35 colors currently. And I remember when I was trying out the Nude Miracle, I had seen that foundation as well. But since it's a 24-hour foundation, I was afraid of it because I thought it would be kind of drying. Because I have dry skin, I stay away from very matte foundations. So I didn't even want to try it. But I did find out that my color should be 460W based on trying the liquid foundation of this particular foundation stick here. It only comes in 20 colors on the Sephora website. So I presume if it does well, it will probably also come in 35 colors because the liquid foundation, the Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour, it didn't start out with 35 colors. I want to say it started out with like 24 colors, and they expanded the range as people started to wear it and love it and enjoy using that particular foundation. The rest of my face, I'm just going to do the one layer and see how that wears. You can build it up. It's full coverage. I feel like I did cover just enough to even out my skin tone. So I'm going to add a little mascara. So this is Too Faced Better Than Sex, a little mini that I have. Add a little mascara. Just going to speed this up again while I put on my mascara. No need for you to listen to me rambling about whatever I was talking about at the moment. One of my favorite blushes. I'm going to just add a little blush. And I am just going to speed up my blush application as well. No need to waste extra time doing that. So here we go. I'm going to add a little bit of lip color. This is my Mercier Rose lip gloss. And of course speeding up the lip gloss application as well. This is Mercier Rose, I think it's called Rose Glace, Glace. So this foundation is supposed to have long wear, 24-hour wear. I will not be keeping it on for 24 hours. I probably will go about 12 hours with it on since I put it on a little after 11 a.m. I'm going to be running around all day doing errands, getting Christmas presents together, packing up the car, getting ready to pack up the car at least, and putting things together. So I'll probably have this on for 12 hours, so I will report back as the day progresses and let you know what I think. So I have had on the Lancome foundation stick for about 30 minutes. It is 11:39. You guys know how I like my natural daylight photo and video. So just want you to have the opportunity to see what it looks like in natural sunlight. It's a bit overcast today, so it's not bright and sunny. but it is as natural daylight as it's gonna get with the overcast. So just want you guys to get a look at it. So I'm gonna keep this on for the remainder of the day and just see how it holds up. I will tell you now that I've already discovered that I'm not going to continue to use this foundation to double as a concealer. I noticed some creasing under my eyes and the fine lines and wrinkles under my eyes, so I will go back to my NARS immediately. Should this foundation work out, I'll still use my NARS concealer with it. Everybody, so this is not a check-in video. It is 12:43 and I took off my makeup and started over because I was playing around on Instagram taking pictures and my makeup kind of looked crazy. I had a lot of creasing under my eyes from using the Lancome foundation stick as a concealer. That did not work for me. It could totally be my technique, but I had a lot of creasing under my eyes, so I took that off and went ahead and used my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Amande. And also I noticed that my blush was looking kind of crazy, so I took that off as well. So same technique other than using the NARS, same products rather, other than using the NARS for my concealer like I normally do. So I will report back and hopefully keep this on for 10 to 12 hours and I'll let you know how. So take 2, natural daylight. It's still a bit overcast. It's a little sunnier than it was earlier when I did the first round of the Lancome foundation stick, but it's still a little bit hazy. So just want you to see what it looks like in natural sunlight. And it's about 12:40 p.m. And this is the Lancome foundation stick, Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour wear. I will be back. Hi everybody, so I am back and I've been testing out the new Lancome foundation stick all day today. Here that is right here. So I put this on around 12:30 p.m. and now it is about 12:30 a.m. So I've had the foundation on for about 12 hours and honestly I've had no problems with it. I've had no touch-ups, no powder. I've got dry skin so I generally don't powder anyway. I did not use a primer. I used my Embryolisse, which is a moisturizer combo primer. I generally don't use primers, but I know people with oily skin do, so I didn't use a primer. Haven't had any issues, and I will show you that I haven't had any transfer either. So I'm just going to take my paper towel here. And press kind of hard. No transfer at all there. And I've had this on for 12 hours. And I think it really looks pretty natural, very skin-like. It's not dewy at all. If you're looking for a dewy, radiant type of foundation, this is not dewy or radiant at all. Looking for something super matte, this is also not it. It has kind of like a soft velvety texture. It definitely has a skin-like look. And comparing it, I guess I would say I could compare it to the Bobbi Brown. It looks very skin-like to me. I had no transfer, had no issues. My only problem is the color doesn't match. So right now this line only has 20 shades and this is the 460 Suede W and the next color is a 470 C, which would be red undertones. This is warm golden undertones and I have yellow undertones, not necessarily golden, so I'll show you what I mean here as far as the color. Probably looks okay on camera, but you can see better when I swatch it on my neck that the color is a little light for me. And I took some photos earlier that I probably already put in this video so you can see what appears to be flashback, but I don't really think that's flashback because there's not, it's not really my color and there doesn't seem to be a color for me yet in this range. The next color option for me, a deeper tone, would be 500W, which I've tried previously in Lancome foundation products, and that is too deep for me. It actually makes me look like I've got a suntan. So right now I do like the product, but there isn't, unfortunately, there's not a color match for me right now. If you can find a color match, it held up very well for me. It's been on for 12 hours and I think it still looks pretty good for having been on that long with no touch-ups. No breakthrough anywhere on my face that I've seen. I have some perspiration around my nose. I always sweat on my nose. I don't have any oil or anything coming through because I do have dry skin. I generally don't have a problem with oil. If you're in the market for a new foundation, I think you should give the Lancome foundation stick a try. Unfortunately, there isn't a color match for me right now in this foundation line, but I do think it's a pretty good product, at least for me with dry skin. I don't know if it will be the same for someone with combination or oily skin, but for me, it worked out very well. Thanks, and I hope that helps somebody, and feel free to ask any questions.